We are. All right, we finna start back up.
Talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random-ish. Well, tonight we got poetry. In the barbershop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Poetry
Yes, sir.
in
Yes,
the
sir.
barbershop, man. And the poets that we've had have blessed us. We started off with Ren, kicked on back in there with She's Magic. Woo. Followed up with Amanda DZ. And we got my boy, a new family member in the barbershop, Malcolm, came through, and we are blessed with a legend in the city. I am honored that she is welcoming us into her family. I'm glad she's here. So, Mr. Montu, do what you do, my brother.
Yeah, this woman, and we call her the God-Mother of Athens Hip-Hop, and she wears that badge and that crown, and she deserves it. She's been supporting this scene and this community since day before I was here, since when she was rapping, so it is an honor whenever she's in the place, because she's the elder, and like for what I do, one of the people that paved the way for allowing me to do what I do, and then welcoming me as an outsider into Athens, like giving me a hug and saying, "Oh, you with us now? I got you." And when she says she got you, that means you got it. So, without further ado, she's called the Arsonist because she be burning stages down. So now she's about to burn this mic up. Y'all give it up for the Arsonist.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, the pleasure is ours.
Mm-hmm.
The pleasure is ours.
And so, if you've seen me before, then you know I always start off my pieces with my tagline.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to hear me spit some ish, let me hear you say, "Light it up."
Light it up.
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
All right. So this first piece, because I am a part of the hip hop scene, I don't rap anymore, but I have a great love for words. And since it started that, the first piece I have was a tribute when we did the 50th anniversary to hip hop.
Okay.
See, some of you too young to know that my flow go way back, like when I was 145 all the way live, 5'5", not taking no jive. See, some of you too young to know my flow go way back, like rhythm and poetry with a beat gave birth to rap. From the bottom to the top grew the culture we call hip hop. Eternal, can't stop, won't stop, and the baddest beat ever made will always be Planet Rock. Since my youth, I've been spitting the truth, spitting and emitting lyrical vapors, mesmerizing, paralyzing, annihilating. My haters don't believe it? Better ask Andrew. Better yet, check the papers. And see, some of y'all don't know that my flow go way back, like when box braids was called plaits. Double Dutch the music, summertime with cousins. Back like before it was a diss track, it was called the Dozens. Back before don't believe the hype, when one of three like me, not stressing but blessing the mic. Standing there loud and proud before a marshmallow crowd. She's awesome. She's fabulous. She's freaking amazing. OMG, that black girl really did her thing. So crown me queen. Thanks to those who give props, dub me God-Mother of Athens Hip-Hop, telling you so you know my flow go way back, like Roots.com ancestry, and my bloodline literally family shines with P.O. and my firstborn A.D. Back like afros and shell toes and the big boombox blasting. Come alive, y'all, and give me what you got, cause it started way back in history. Some call me Angie, some call me B. Mama Angie, the elder. Some things you can't Google, so don't bother checking for me. 25 on the mic to play tribute to a 50-year legacy. Much respect and never forget, hip-hop is the offspring of poetry. Now you know my flow, like my love for hip hop, would go on for years, and when the embers turn to ash and all the smoke clears, you already know the arsonist was here.
Burn it down.
Light it up. Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was a good way to start off.
Yeah, that was
That's
good.
definitely a good way to start off.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm pretty versatile, and you know I can write about pretty much anything. A lot of my inspiration comes from places of pain and longing, being broke,
Hey.
Right?
bills, raising my children. So, you know, my inspiration can come from anywhere. Like you said, inspiration is everywhere.
Everywhere.
And this next piece is called She's Only 13.
Okay.
Caramel kissed skin and hair down her back. A smile that would leave you dead in your tracks. A wide low sign wouldn't fit on her booty. Even from a distance, you can tell she's a cutie. She walks down the street, traffic stops. Them double D's sit up like roadblocks. 5'7", walking like a model. Even in a crowd, you can easily spot her. But she's only 13. She's only 13. So like the pig that you are, I will lead you to slaughter if you even think or look the wrong way at my daughter. I'll take a bat to your kneecap so you can't walk. I'll seal your mouth shut so you can't talk. I don't worry about a case, cause not a sound will you mutter with your mouth super glued full of peanut butter. When it comes to my kids, I'll go to the highest star. I'll cut off your and drop them in tar. And just to prove that I can really be sick, I'll take a meat mallet and tenderize your, watch your eyes beg for mercy, curse you and pour hot ears in your ears and ask if you heard me. A jalapeno enema for you, and I'll take a Kit Kat break and help myself relax. I'll toss you over in an acid bath. And as I look into your eyes as you take your last breath, I'll laugh hysterically because it was you that caused your death. I'll turn powder into your remains, and then I'll drive 5 states to feed the buzzards your brains because she was only 13. She's only 13.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Some of that, I believe if some of that happened to some of them, it would stop some of this.
All we gotta do is act on it.
Yes,
Many
ma'am.
people are quiet. They
Yes.
know things are happening.
Yes.
They just
Yes.
turn their head.
Yes. But I believe if they allow people to take care the way they're supposed to, some of that'll stop.
So true.
So this next piece is a lot of times we don't address men who are battered and abused. We
Talk
know
about it.
about women and we know about young girls, but this piece was inspired by 2 young men that I know that were in abusive relationships. And this one is called I'm Not Your Mama. Hey young man, I'm not your mama. But if I was, here's what I do. The same thing that I say to my daughters, I would also say to you. See, you're a young man, and there's no reason to exist in the hell you go through. I would say, son, sit down and let me give you some information. Your body language screams out frustration, and though I'm on the outside looking in, a mother can sense a toxic situation. A long day at work is cause for accusation. As soon as you walk in the door, begins the confrontation. You leave your heart at home and don't give females a second look, but she's always checking your phone. And to make her happy, you shut down your chat, Instagram, and Facebook. You take care of the bills and handle business like a real man, but nothing you do is good enough, and you just don't understand why walking to the door is like walking the longest mile. And the only thing that makes going home worthwhile is knowing that as soon as your kids see daddy's home, they break out in the biggest smile. See, the kids are why you stay, going through hell every day, Over and over you pray, dear God, please reveal a better way. All you want is to love her and be a family. But no matter what you do to assure her, she just can't see. She's blinded by past hurts and jealousy. And you want to break the cycle of the single parent home. You want to raise your kids till they're fully grown, trying to be a good husband and father, but you end us alone because, admit it or not, her mind is gone. All she wants to do is fuss and fight, knowing you have to go to work, but she keeps you up half the night. Now, I'm not your mama, but that's just not right. And you can never have what you want with her until she makes a choice to heal. I'm not your mama, but I still keep it real. And I will give you the same information I give my daughters, and I hope that you will use it. See, sometimes there are females who are abusive, and my advice is to get out before you hit back. Before the police get called, you go to jail, and your kids go to defects. Now, I'm not your mama, but I am a mama, telling you to think about your kids before you lose your temper, and then she'll be saying, look what daddy did. I'm not your mama, but if I was, I would say, son, leave this toxic situation. I understand your hesitation, but don't end up with supervised visitation or a lot of years on probation. But I'm not your mama.
Shoot. And there's so many men out there that has been abused, that are being abused. And I would love to have that conversation in this barbershop because it is more prevalent than what we think it is. So I want to thank you for that piece because it needs to be talked about. But thank you, definitely thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Burn it down.
Okay. So a while back, I had a young lady named Terry McCoy who worked in the youth detention field, and she had me come to speak with some young ladies who were being detained, and to reach out to young women who were struggling with some of the things that we talk about. We talk about abuse and being molested and, just problems in the home, to try and give them some encouragement, trying to channel what they might be going through and to find the words to help them. And this one is called Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, no matter what hair texture, size, or shade. From the deepest chocolate to the palest peach. May these words inspire you to reach, to soar, to fly, because you can accomplish anything. But first, you must try. Any tears shed would be of joy if you cry. Just keep walking. The Spirit will guide your steps, and it's okay to cry, because even Jesus wept. But faith and hope he kept, and you must do the same. Anything, everything you need, ask it in Jesus' name, and understand there will be challenges and times will be hard, but hold on to your faith and trust in God. He will never fail you or desert you. He will protect you from those who have hurt you. Whether you are battered, bruised, abused, misused, confused, mind stuck on snooze, ambition set on cruise, and afraid to win, so you choose to lose. You go along with anything because you feel powerless to refuse and can't find your way, even with all the clues. Patience is non-existent, so you have a short fuse, and when you were in pain and despair, others were amused, but God's love can transfuse, diffuse, heal, reveal, make you strong and still, and put power in a voice that was once a squeal. Make you so happy, you'll want to turn a cartwheel and enlighten you so that you may recognize a misdeal. And all of this is possible because God's love is real. And now is the time for restoration. Kneel only to God. Do not bow to frustration and disregard the circumstance, ethnicity, or financial background, because you are the only weight that can hold you down. And ignore comments of condemnation from those full of righteous indignation and live up only to your own expectation. Progress and success will be your manifestation, and with eyes wide open, watch for the confirmation. And always give prayers of thanks and exaltation because you are God's beautiful, intelligent creation. Whatever your hair texture, size, or your shade, you are beautifully, fearfully, and wonderfully made.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And this last one is called Warrior, not a warrior.
Okay.
Once upon a time, everything was fine and there was no one bright enough to block my shine, because my shine was bright like iridescent sunlight in the middle of the night, and everything in my life was going just right. See, I remember sunny days with warm rays when I could have coined the phrase, your money on me is your best bet. Best believe at that time, anything I wanted, I could get without fret and no debt. See, it was me, meekly making the teleman weekly, cashing $3,000 and $4,000 checks, but I was humble with my money. I never treated people funny, and I never felt the need to brag or broadcast with shoes and bags I had in class. Never showed my because my mama taught me better. When I had the ability to give an opportunity to hear me when I speak, I was killing it. You could have called me beasting like bread made with yeast, we rose together. See, I wore compassion on my sleeve, helping anyone who say they had a need, but the once needy became greedy, and now my heart grieves, for there are none to fill my need. Sometimes the weight is heavy and a simple breath threatens to implode my chest, and looking at a plate too full, I dare not ingest. Have you ever felt dragonflies on pogo sticks? Stomach playing tricks, and it's about to do some mess, and it's scary, but necessary, and so glad it's temporary. A temporary pity party made me briefly blind to reality. See, the reality is that all things have a season, and every season a reason. And sometimes now is the season for rain, when it's raining torrential, and every small problem becomes monumental. But every day I open my eyes, there's a positive potential. See, a pity party made me temporarily forget, and I deeply regret that I gave too much worry about what comes next, that I didn't give my father his due respect. See, my Bible taught me better. From the first to the last letter, from Luke 17:6, faith no bigger than a mustard seed, to Philippians 19, that God shall supply all my needs. So I smile, remembering those sunny days with warm rays, and I shine through the rain. I grit my teeth and I bear the pain, smiling when I say to you, fourth down, fourth quarter, with 4 seconds left in the game. My God, always come through. Now let me hear you say, light it up.
Light it up.
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, how did you transition from hip-hop to poetry?
Okay, so hip hop is
poetry.
poetry, and this is something I have a conversation about it. So it starts with rap, right?
Yeah.
Rap is what? Rhythm and poetry. So you can't have hip hop without rap. It's the foundation.
I never took rap apart like that.
That's all it is. Because when I started as in hip hop. Had our group, and all I did was rhyme all day. But when I got into poetry, everything I wrote was in bars. So my first poems were in bars of 4, bars of 8, because that's what I knew. And then as I got deeper into it, I learned to deconstruct it and reconstruct it in another way. But it still was based from me rhyming.
Right.
Because that's what I learned. That was my initial way of expressing myself, was through hip hop. But I just wondered how someone else who based in hip hop made the transition. Because it's still, like you said, it's still hip hop.
Right.
But it's just a different form. It's a different avenue.
So when I was rapping, there was not a platform for that, which is that was part of the transition because
Right.
and that as I got older,
Right.
life takes on life. And
Yes.
I have children, so
Yes.
I got out of performing because there was nowhere to perform. Now I would go downtown when there's a part in this piece that says one of three like me before a marshmallow crowd. No disrespect, but that was me downtown doing open mic when there was no one there but white people.
Yeah.
And it's only me,
Right.
And at the end, I would have, some looks and, people, put my name, I came in a long time ago, but I'm all the way down at the end of the list. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But when I finally get on there, they're like, man, that black girl did her. So it just kind of went on from there because there was not a platform for me to perform as a rapper.
Right. Right.
So it took
Right.
on its whole nother thing.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I met your son.
A.D. Santana.
How do you feel about him and his music? Him rapping, and I've heard some of his music, and he's pretty good.
He got it from his mom.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. So when he decided to get into hip hop, how did you feel about that?
Well, it's a family thing. Like
Okay.
the hip hop is family. I mentioned Sean Swift is DJ.
Mhm.
I have a cousin, Mindy, who is a dancer.
And we used to dance and fight with all them. Yeah.
Okay.
Nando. Yeah. Nando.
Right.
Nando. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shondo.
Shando, that's it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We came up watching them dance and geeking and yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And then my brother is P.O., the Priceless One,
Okay.
producer, music extraordinaire. So it's in the blood, it's in the DNA.
Okay.
When I say roots.com ancestry, like it's in the DNA.
Okay.
And so I'm very pleased. Like we have different content and different concepts, and it's funny because like we would be a diverse universe back in the day, and my son and my brother would come in, and they already know like when I say I'm diverse universe was a place because I'm a diverse person, and they would come in, and some of the content I would have to tell them, okay, look.
Yeah.
No, I would not let them. I said, you cannot censor me. So if this is going to be something that you will be uncomfortable with, you need to exit stage left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to do what I need to do. You can't tame those words sometimes.
Yes.
And you have to, like you said, when you say a piece can't be too short or too long, then my content is my content, and what I feel is what I feel, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Just don't be mean when you sing.
And sometimes I can't.
Sometimes you can't be mean. Hey, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Anybody got any questions they want?
Before we go, if you don't mind, I would like to, on Thursday night,
Okay.
I'm actually late.
Yeah.
On Thursday nights at VFW Post 3710, 136 Glenhaven Avenue, we have open mic and poetry every Thursday.
Okay.
And where I call it Songs, Smoke, and Ashes.
Okay.
Because we do open mic and, the songs, and then the smoke and ashes in me, of course, because I'm going to light it up and burn it.
Right.
Yes indeed.
But we have some guests come through sometimes. So if anybody's, whoever's listening, if you want to come down, come and support.
Will do.
Word.
Also, if you want to check me out, I have a piece on YouTube called Love Makes a Man by the Arsonist, and you could go in, hashtag Love Makes a Man the Arsonist, and you should find it.
Okay.
And that was the music from that was done by my son's son, who is T.Y. Dixon, and my son A.D. Santana, and also it was mixed at J Pro Studio.
Word.
Right.
Word.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great fun. And I gotta go.
Yeah, you got it. It's event time.
It's been
Appreciate
an honor
you.
to have you in the building.
Yeah.
Well, I got one.
What?
I got one.
Come on.
I got one.
He got one.
I got one.
Oh.
He got one. He got paper in hand.
Oh, damn.
Light it up.
I thought you was kidding.
No, we gonna let the expert go last. You know what I'm saying? We gonna let the master go last. But I got one.
Come on.
Okay. Operating under the crooked American system too long.
Okay.
Outcast.
I got you.
Pronounced outcast. Adjective meaning
Big
homeless.
rude.
Or unacceptable in society. But looks a lot deeper than that. Are you an outcast? If you understand and feel the basic principles and fundamental truths contained within this music, you probably are. But if you think it's all about pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac doors, you probably not. Or Ian that thinks he's a crowd. Or maybe you just don't understand. An outcast is someone who's not considered to be part of the normal world. He is looked at differently. He's not accepted because of his clothes, his hair, his occupation, his belief, or his skin color. Now look at yourself. Ask yourself, are you an outcast? I know I am. And as a matter of fact, damn being anything else. It's only so much time left in this crazy world. Wake up, people, and realize what's going on around you. Poisoning of the water, and poisoning of the food and the water, tampering of the cigarettes, the disease engineering controlling our life. Take back your existence or die like a punk. That was Big Rude saying right on to the real
And death to the fakers.
One of my favorite points of the whole time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
But did you see was you there early enough to see or late enough to see
Yes.
Andrew? So he got Big Rube to do that piece for him
Man,
to
that
open
was
up
so
his
dope.
to open up his album.
That
And
was
it's coming
so
out.
dope.
It's coming out in the, and he's on. He just got Final Four of Vic Chestnut's songwriter of the year. So next Thursday he's gonna be seeing what's up with that. There's a couple other little surprises I can't really say right now, but he is his movement is moving right now. I'll just say that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
His
Yes,
movement is
sir.
moving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Athens, whew.
Man, and once again, like I say, want to thank you for reintroducing me to my city.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, I've been everywhere, all over the world, and I done dabbled in some of everybody else's culture. But I forgot my city had culture. Shoot. And yeah, I thank you for introducing me and bringing me back and making me a part of this.
Word.
And introducing me to these fine poets. And I'll thank y'all again. Go ahead and do your thizzle, my guilt.
So this next young man is another one of them people that like paved the way for what we're doing. And when I say that, I'm talking about like brick by brick, helping build like from day one around here. His words is his words, man. He's a master with them words. He's a wordsmith. Like
Yes.
he manipulates those words in a way that like, first of all, he's gonna make you listen. Second of all, he's gonna give you a jewel. You know, he's gonna walk away with some knowledge. And then it's gonna be so smooth that you're gonna be like, damn. So without further ado, this is the man. I would say not the legend, but it is Larry the Legend.
See, I need to take him with me. Hear what I know. What's funny is when I show my son the shows from Hendershot, he always say, was your hype man now? I said, yeah, Uncle Ricky always with me. I said, I keep my hype man close by.
That's right.
So, as I was saying with the Arsonist, I came from a background of hip-hop, and it took a long time for me to deconstruct my poetry to get it to a point where I felt like I wasn't rapping anymore. And I was really into the art of the poetry. So that has been my journey into it. And every now and again, a lot of times when I'm into my poetry, I'll start playing with the words, and I wanna dig into them and start flipping and doing this and that, and I'm like, oh, that's that old MC. I need you to go down. I need you to go down. I need you to stop.
Sit down for a minute.
Sit down for a minute. I'm trying to do another point. But every now and again, I let the two merge. Cause Magic, you said something beautiful. You said that you feel like you have different personalities and they're missing out. I know I have mine, and they're all there to protect this little boy that lost his dad when he was 6.5 years old, and it's three of them. You know, it's the legend. It's Lawrence. Lawrence comes out when I have my professional dealings. He's the one you're gonna meet when you come to the post office, and you know that's when you're gonna catch me on my Zooms. You have Lawrence, and then you have Legend, who comes out and does all of this outside, and then there's you know, I don't let this other guy out too often because he caused a lot of trouble. So, but they all protect Larry, and that's what I love. That's what I love. So, this first piece is a letter to my younger self. Born in a time when emotion was thought to be soft and weak like newborn deer legs. So your words and feelings you hid inside your heart, like secret crushes on head cheerleaders. Scared of letting them see that at night you cried in the darkness of your room. Tears flowing freely from your eyes like waterfalls from mountaintops, crashing softly on pillowcases, staining cheeks and chins like blood drops on white rugs. You never really liked to smile, too afraid that if your lips pierced and your teeth shone, that timid boy inside you would somehow escape, exposing your fears and dreams to the world like diaries being read by nosy parents. You were the only person I knew who could be in a room full of people and still be all alone, faded in the foreground of a scene like a picture in the hallway. There, but not really there. Tolerated, like black members at a country club. Needed, but not really wanted. Surrounded by those who were cooler than icebergs. Slim chance for your light to shine. Seen cast like dice in a fixed game of craps. Snake eyes. You lose. But isn't that what was supposed to happen anyway? You believed that your star was destined to collapse, like black holes in Milky Ways. Light never to reach the eyes of those who looked through you. Thought that everything that you were was wrong, like hands on a broken clock. You were fixed, frozen in a stance and forced to watch time pass you by. Shoved in corners, like memories of past failures. Thoughts that are only brought up by people who want to shame you. Remind you that your heart breaks too easily, and that you love too freely, and that the glasses that cover your eyes are only there to hide your imperfections. Lessons from life that seem too heavy for a fatherless child. Role model on TV every Thursday night at 8. Cliff Huxtable showed you what a father and a husband look like broken hearts after tragedy. It's amazing that you survived it all. When I think back to when I was you, I want to scream at the top of my lungs to smile. Fret not over those whose touch was cold. Be not afraid to cry in the sunshine and smile in the rain. Release the demons that are eating you from the inside. Like freed slaves on underground railroads, loose those shackles and be free. Let your tender heart inspire words that will make eyes weep and cheeks blush. Stand, be heard, and no matter what, know that they secretly wanted to be like you. And when you leave this box of broken Crayola crayons, your tip will be damaged, your paper torn, and your color won't be as bright. But you can still draw a masterpiece. You can still stay inside the lines. Or you can do as I do now. Close your eyes and realize that the masterpiece is you. So, when I was dealing with my anxiety, there was a day that I just had a full-fledged panic attack. Thank you for coming. So, I was working in Douglasville, living in Conyers. So that's about an hour ride. Backed up out of the driveway and was just cried from the driveway all the way to the parking lot of the post office that morning. Mm-hmm. And this piece is called I Can't Breathe. My lungs are working perfectly and oxygen is being pulled into my body, but I can't breathe. My mind flies at the speed of light, hoping to find that one breath, the one that will calm my beating heart, the one that will soothe my crying soul, the one that will stop my shaking hands, the one that will allow me to exhale. See, this morning I didn't want to get out of bed, and last night I didn't want to lie down, because when I close my eyes to rest, the voices inside begin to rise, and the coming tide that washes over me tosses me like waves on a cliff, and it strips me of my joy, of my being, of myself. Lost in the waves of pain that flow over my head and slowly pull me to the bottom, trying desperately to catch my breath one more time and not surrender. But each breath comes harder than the last, and each wave comes stronger than before, and my eyes look to the shore and I see the beach is crowded with family and friends, so perhaps this time won't lead to my end, but no one seems to notice. They just tell me to just shut up and be brave, and that real man don't cry, and that it's all in my head, and that if I only trust and believe in God, that I would be all right, and that after the night comes the dawn, or they sing my favorite hymn by R.E.M., that everybody hurts, and what makes me worth the effort to come and save? Just shut up and be brave and deal with it. But I can't breathe. So I close my eyes and try to catch my breath, because I know it's only a test that I have failed before. So to the Most High I implore, please God, no more. Like the scarecrow in the Wiz, I can't win. So God, if this is a sin that I let this life end, then please forgive me, for I can't see how this can turn out. It's a 15th round in a 12-round bout. The ref is giving me a standing 8 count. And I know all things work to the good of those who love the Lord, but my heart is broken. And I'm too soft-spoken to cry. Perhaps it's best that I don't try. Stop asking why. Let what will be, be. For you see, I can't breathe. So this piece, my homeboy did when I was out at Hendershot. He said he messed it up. He did really well. And I wrote it after he tried to take his life. And I just, at that moment, I felt helpless, because I felt like I failed him, because I wasn't there for him. So this piece is called, For Those Who Feel Like Suicide Was the Only Answer. For those who feel like suicide is the only answer, breathe. Take a deep breath, count to 10. Breathe. And repeat step 1 again. Now, I don't claim to understand your pain, or even pretend that I could make it in, or foolishly suggest that this is just some kind of test that can be passed or failed. My only task is a simple ask. Inhale, exhale, breathe, and repeat step 1. Those demons that you are facing have a strange way of replacing your thoughts with loss. And the more you keep refusing seems the more you keep on losing ground, like peace that can't be found, or pain that is somehow bound to your soul. And your only goal is to regain some semblance of control. But no, the pain won't let you go. And every round that you fight is slowly draining you of life. And the only end in sight has been condemned by those who have never understood your plight, or by people who have never battled a demon all through the night. Yet despite your desire to see the grave, daily you walk this earth being brave. Just waking in the morning is impressive, when the weight of simply living can be so oppressive. And if we're being retrospective, it's been like this for years. The tears have burned tracks into your memory until the symmetry has been knocked off, like a painting in the hallway tilted at 87 degrees. And that's just enough to keep your mind from being at ease, for no one else to see. So when the voices come like a plague and all your answers you're giving are being vague, remember, breathe, and repeat step 1. See, I too have been in the dark, and like that movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, the demons have come for my soul. And if I could be so bold and tell the truth, I've walked a mile inside those shoes. But I digress, because this is not about me, it's all about you. And whatever it is that God has got you going through, just know that you are not alone. I am always here by my phone. So if you would be so kind to take a load off and rest your mind, in me you will always find that my schedule, there is always time. For those of whom I do not know, in order for you to heal and grow, find someone who can fill that role. But remember to breathe and repeat step 1. Know that I am not here to judge, and when life has you stuck in the mud and you feel like you are drowning in the waters of the oncoming flood, even if you decide that you can no longer survive, you will only find me with you, standing by your side, not asking why. For who am I to try to pry into what is that you are going through inside? Not even my foolish pride could start to tell that lie, nor reply to the call that is unilateral, or think of the damage that will be more than collateral. And though you think it is admirable, if truth be told, my motives are quite selfish. My reasons are my own, but they are not devilish. Simply put, you by yourself don't get to go through this. So please, I'm asking, go get some help. And from here, then there won't be no stopping. But remember, breathe. Repeat step 1, because suicide is not your only option. So, hey, bro, I just hate I was late with the piece. That's my only regret in that piece.
Are you talking about the guy, the young man from LSU that going to?
No, this is for him. This was for him.
Me?
For King.
King tried to take his life.
September the 30th,
Yeah.
2021, I tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
But
And
the thing is, there was no way for you to know.
yeah, and I know that, but I struggle with it. I still struggle with it. Cause we so close.
Yes.
And it's plenty days that, unbeknownst to you, you talked me off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to be able to talk you off the ledge, and I couldn't that time.
Yes.
I couldn't that time. So, and I'm gonna do two pieces. This piece is dedicated to Heather Shots.
All right now.
And the family.
All right now.
Yes, sir.
It's called The Anonymous Nobody. The journey of 1,000,000 miles often begins with just one step. And often the hardest step to take is the first. Many are cursed with stage fright. And despite how they have rehearsed, their movements are often stiff like bodies in a hearse. No need to reverse course. Sending up messages like codes made of Morris. Petrified like a forest. Can't see the limbs for the trees. And you best believe that your goals can't be achieved. You have been deceived, kind of like what the serpent did to Eve. Lies that were perceived as the truth have stained us to our core and root, covered in soot and grime, unable to speak like mimes, just a mean game of charades. And the charade has thrown shade over the light, casting shadows of doubt. Not knowing which way is out, still chasing clout at your age. It's true that the world is a stage beckoning you to engage, but your engagement has led to entanglements, as if your name was Jada Pinkett Smith. And the rift that has formed is cause for alarm. Got you on the receiving end of a swarm of killer bees like backwards, beaten, broken, bamboozled, betrayed, mistakes laid bare for all to see, instincts to flee, but your 2 feet are frozen in place, like stalagmites in a barren tundra, while the thunder roars in the distance, just enough for your resistance to start to give. How much longer do you plan to live? Or is death a welcome change? To some it may seem strange, but I too have felt that pain. Plain it was to me that if my burden is to be relieved, that peace I would have to seek. Bleak I was when I first stumbled into this spot, a quaint little coffee shop named Hendershots, where teachers, free thinkers, and poets often meet on the 4th day of the week and the 2nd turning of the month, or we organize our confusions as if we were Pharaoh Monch, a place where ideas are birthed and words cut like blades, all to the funky sounds of the trio of the shaky leg. Even an occasional cheesecake is displayed for one to partake. It is in this way progression is being made. Demons are being slayed, and new roads are being paved. So come what may, for our burdens are not ours alone to bear. In this place, no matter your race, the hurt, pain, and sorrow we will gladly share. Some think it unfair, or even cavalier, how brokenness has learned to become wholeness right here. And I declare that if you do happen to run into self, or even Montu, and for whatever reason one of them may casually ask you, who or what brings you to this providence, with no thought of consequence, simply reply, it was an ordinary guy, a nobody who wished to remain anonymous.
Yes, sire.
So this last piece is actually gonna be my feature piece on my 3rd book. My 2nd book should be out June.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, G.
Still got students to grade.
Go.
Yeah.
Malcolm, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
See you later.
So the 3rd book is gonna be called Confessions to My Therapist. And this one, we're gonna close it out with Truth Be Told. While on a video call with my therapist, trying to make sense of an extraordinarily exasperating week, I was attempting to explain the details of how I found myself on this particular path. She was patiently dissecting my excuses while not letting me justify my regression, slowly, methodically, invalidating my reasoning, while simultaneously admonishing me for relinquishing my boundaries. Still, I was hoping for reassurance that somehow, despite it all, progress was still being made, even in the midst of my recent backsliding. Even though, lately, I felt more akin to a man who was hanging by the end of his rope, whose grip was loosening as he was starting to slide, feeling as if his hands were covered in oil and there was no one that cared to save him. Instead of giving me the reassurance that I so desperately desired, my therapist tilted her head, looked directly into my eyes, and asked, Larry, tell me something. Who are you? And my expression must have conveyed my confusion, because her gaze softened. While she wet her lips, she began to clarify her question. I want you to tell me who you are. Who is Larry? I don't mean who he is to everyone else, but who is Larry to you? Because until you know who he is, these conversations are simply going to continue to be just that, conversations. I need for you to provide some illumination into your inner being. Who is the real person that Larry is seeing? Now, me believing in my therapist and hoping to receive an unbiased view, slowly took a deep breath and began to spew my innermost thoughts. I am a son who is afraid that he will never achieve the expectations of his father, even though his father has never given him any expectations to achieve. This same son who wants to follow the path that his father has left for him. But it has been so long that he is starting to forget where that path begins. I am a son who is trying to protect his mother from the pain that inflicts her, knowing that the task at hand is as impossible as it sounds. Still trying to make it up to her for being a whole butt when he was younger. I am a father who has given his son every resource to succeed, yet is terrified that his son will not reach his full potential. And by allowing him to not have made sacrifices when he was younger, perhaps he has not prepared him for the world and doomed him to fail. I am a husband who loves his wife with everything that he has, but is confident that his everything is not enough, that if I squeeze too tight or not tight enough, she will slip between my fingers like grains of sand in an hourglass. I am a friend who feels that he is orbiting on the edge of his own inner circle, slowly drifting through space like shards of a shattered moon, kept at arm's length, just close enough to be accepted, but far enough to be ignored, wishing that he would reach out more to those that he loves, but afraid of the pain that it will cause if he truly allows them in, or if they are taken from his life. I am a writer who writes, who needs to write more, yet still only writes when the feeling hits, often ignoring verses that materialize in his spirit, sacrificing my passion, my inspiration, and my insight at the altar of boredom and laziness. I am a poet who feels every emotion on the spectrum, every high, every low, and all those in between. And though my highs have reached the gates of heaven, conversely, my lows have touched the depths of hell, fluctuating between joy and sorrow, riding the waves of empathy as if I was learning to surf during a hurricane, fighting the undertow of depression while embracing the rise of hope. I am the employee whose expectations for himself are higher than any manager could place on him, whose criticism is harsher than any reprimand that could ever be given, but who is afraid that one day they will pull back the curtains and see that I am a fraud. I am the thinker who overthinks, the lover who does not love himself, the one who forgives the transgressions of others, but has forgotten how to forgive his own. I am he who loves solitude, but knows that the silence can be deafening, so loud that it pierces the eardrums. At times I am lonely, even while being in the midst of a crowd, a clown who has lost his ability to smile. But I guess, if we're being honest, and if the truth be told, I am simply a man who is afraid that his best isn't good enough. And when he is gone, no one will remember that he was here, and no one will even care that he is no more. With that, I stopped shaking, calmed myself, and began to breathe again. My therapist set down her book, slowly removed her glasses, and with a smile she told me, now the work can finally begin.
That Mark, that gets me every time. It gets me every time. I swear.
Mr. Montu, the last words, my brother.
Yeah, like sometimes, you eat a lot and then you kind of full. It's like once you get to the point to be like, even like for Wednesday night, sometimes you get to the point and be like, damn, like you didn't. It's so much have come at you and you've been energized so much. It's like, damn, I'm full. It got me thinking, and then I was take over here taking notes. Like, like inspiration hits you, and then for me, like normally I got my little thing, I couldn't, my little thing I could like talk into it, but I couldn't talk into it. I was like, all right, write this idea down. But that's the energies that we transmit in like almost everything that we do. Like all the different people that's doing their thing, whether it be music, whether it be poetry, whether it be events, whether it be, the step people, whether it be, people who are coaching, people who are like helping to run the little leagues, like all the different things that's happening. So, when I hear these people like acting like Chicken Little you know, and it's like the sky is falling right now, you know. I'm not gonna say it ain't bad, but like, I mean, I don't know. Me and my people been through a lot.
Yeah.
So like, the sky's been falling for us like forever. So like, this is rough, but calm down. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I look out and I see all these beautiful things happening in the community. I'm like, you need to get your head out of wherever you at and like look at what's going on in our beautiful community. You know what I'm saying? Is there problems? Absolutely. But is there some people doing some beautiful things?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like straight up. So I don't know. So like when just to, you know, talking random ish is one of those things. It's like it should be and it's gonna be like a pillar in the community. Like this is we have to do these kind of things. We have to have some shows that I had. We have to have these hip hop artists coming out and everybody doing their thing, whatever they doing. It's it just becomes this beautiful network that like we all supporting each other, and it's like, this is how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like this is, you know, everybody supporting everybody. So I love it, and it fills me up. And you know, on the last leg, I got 20 more days of school, and then off to do all kinds of things. I'm doing this trip with school. I'm going to Paris and Amsterdam at the end of May. Then in Bahamas for my 50th with my family.
Nice. You
know, Hot Corner's coming up. AFest is coming up. Going to this conference in Chicago in July. So one thing that I can say, like, Athens has been my launching pad, and everything that I'm doing and being able to do, like, to go to these places, like, I'm right there because, like, the community, like, helped me get there. And when people are like, you finally being recognized, people are finally seeing who you are. It's like, that's true, but, like, you're finally seeing who we are. Like, you don't, like, I that's one thing about me, like, I try not to, and my wife said, you need to take more credit for stuff. I said, you're right, but, like, to me, it's like, it's so many people involved, I can never just be like, Montu did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Montu did that Wednesday night thing. When it's everybody. It's the artist, it's Seth, it's Shaky Leg, it's me, it's everybody. So, same thing in the classroom, same thing with what y'all are doing. It's like, we have to, like, make sure this network continues to grow. So, anybody who's listening to this, anybody who's aware of the movement that we got going on, like, all I ask is, like, you to, like, support everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's something for everybody. We have enough on this buffet table to where, like, it's something in Athens you can eat. Like, it's something in Athens you can absorb, and it'll make you a better person. So
all right.
that's all I wanted to say.
Well
So
said.
thank y'all.
Well
you know what I'm
said.
saying? Thank y'all for being a part of this beautiful network.
Well
Yes.
Like I always say, thank you. And I've said it twice on this show, and I'm gonna say it one more time. Thank you for reintroducing me to my city.
Absolutely, y'all.
Thank you for a lot of days making me be a part.
We got you in training.
Thank you. I want to thank all the poets that was part of this tonight, and y'all words, man. I just love them, man, and the way the pictures that y'all painted this evening.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Like I said, let's put it in the air. So hopefully the next one, next year, this same time, we can do it live from Hendershots with the Shaky Leg.
Done.
And we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. This game called life is a series of moments. The past is just that, the past. Learn from it and be thankful for it. The future, prepare for it. It's coming. Let's get to the next one. The present, it is a gift. Enjoy the journey. Take pictures. But most importantly, thank God. It's time to sweep the floors. Clean the clippers.
I got the bathroom. You had it last week.
Woo. Larry got the bathroom.
I got the bathroom.
The shop is closed.
Salute.
Salute. Oh.